Hello and welcome back to this month's episode of ClubCast. I am Kate Capezza, and today I am joined by someone whose story has perfectly captured what it means when great futures come full circle, and that is Aleya Vazquez-Soto. She is here with us today. She is our Westside Club Teen Program Director and also a proud Boys and Girls Club alumni. So, Aleya, thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Aleya grew up right here in our clubs and is now leading the same programs that once inspired her when she was a teen in the club. She has become a member to a mentor, and she is just leading our teens and teaching them those leadership skills and workforce skills that they need for their time after the club and just in the real world. And she is just doing an incredible job of leading the teens at our Westside Club and kind of joining in with the other teen clubs to work as a unit and just to feed off of each other and just get out in the community and get our teens those real world experiences that will have an impact on their lives. So to get started, I want to start from the very beginning. Aleya, just give us a little bit about your time as a member in the Boys and Girls Club.
So I started attending the club at the age of 5 years old when my mom actually first got a position as a truancy officer. It started off as I'd come during the summer times with her because no one else could watch me, and then it ended up quickly becoming I made friends, I had an environment, I had a family feeling. So since then, I started attending after school and attending during summers, and it just became one of those things where it didn't feel like I had to be there anymore. It felt like I wanted to be there. And I owe that all to my mentors that I had. I mean, I had amazing mentors from Mr. Omar, from Mr. Broderick to Miss Aaron. I mean, I can go on and on about the mentors that I had there. That truly just made me feel welcomed every time I entered those doors.
And which clubs did you attend in your time?
So I mainly attended Ken Pruitt Unit, which is also called KPU. I also attended Garden Terrace, Infinity. I never really attended a school base, but I was mainly inside of the clubhouses, Chuck Hill, all of those.
So pretty much all of St. Lucie County.
Every single St. Lucie County clubhouse that we had, I attended. And it was honestly it's such a cool feeling to just be able to go from one club to another and feel that family aspect every single time I walked through that door.
And during your time in the club, what were I know it's definitely evolved since your time in the club, but tell us a little bit about what your favorite programs were.
My favorite program by far had to be the arts program. Whether we were doing arts and crafts in the art room at KPU or in the teen room doing a play and putting on The Lion King, to actually going and performing at a chili cook-off one year. So I mean, that was probably by far one of my favorite programs.
And what, from your time in the club, what has kind of inspired you to come back to the club as the teen program director?
I think bringing it back to that family aspect that I said that I felt, I truly always felt like a part of something when I walked into the room, whether I was a junior staff in the teen room, whether I was just a part of the 10, 12-year-olds group. There was just always that family feel, and I owe that really all to my mentors. So I feel like having that aspect and then realizing that times are changing so much with this generation and they need a place to feel that family feel, that safe environment. So really just kind of wanting to bring it back to that.
And tell us a little bit about what you experience now in your role, kind of how it's evolved since your time in the club.
So I've definitely noticed that from when I was a club kid to now how the teens have it, it's definitely amazing to see. I mean, from a junior staff, sorry, just lost my train of thought. From a junior staff having to compete with 5 other teen club peers as you, and then to now how each member gets a stipend is just absolutely amazing. I mean, the experiences as far as the workforce field, it has just grown tremendously from when I was a club kid to now, and it's just beautiful to see.
And speaking of the stipend program, that is amazing that we do for our teens.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that stipend program works.
Absolutely. So in the workforce readiness program, the teens are expected to hit 5 categories, and that is attendance, dress code, job shadowing, participation, and behavior. So pretty much kind of getting them into those good habits, best practices when they actually are in the workforce world. So if they are a part of after-school activities, making sure that they're letting their staff know, their directors know, hey, this is the after-school schedule this week, this is where I'll be, so this is why I won't be attending the club. So just really kind of giving them that higher expectation and holding them to a different standard has really just kind of grown their workforce, I guess you could say, love. But yeah, so that's one of the aspects as far as the stipend, but they also have to hit 25 hours of community service. So every quarter they have to at least hit 25 hours of community service or be working towards that 25 hours of community service, as well as getting them familiar with filling out a W-9 form. So we also ask them to fill out a W-9 form. We don't use it for anything, but it's just really kind of getting them into those practices of what it would be like if they were to actually get a job. So that when they go for an interview, when they go to fill out their correct information, they're not nervous, they're not wondering, okay, am I filling it out the right way or I'm not? We're just giving them those practices beforehand.
And that's awesome that you guys do that for them. Speaking of the community service aspect of it and their requirements needed, we help them with the community service. So tell us a little bit about any experiences and trips that you've went on to just give that community service to them.
Absolutely. So one of the biggest community service projects that Westside Teens does is our annual beach cleanups. That is something that we started actually with the city of Fort Pierce last year when they invited us out to do their annual beach cleanup. So we signed up for that, and we had about 13 teens to actually join us with that, and we did the jetty in Fort Pierce, and that was a huge hit. So actually the teens decided, let's start doing this once a month, or let's start doing this twice a month, so that this way we can clean up our beaches. So we've actually increased it to now, instead of just going to one beach every single time we do a beach cleanup, to now we hit 3 local beaches in Fort Pierce, and we spend at least an hour to 2 hours at each location depending on the pollution that's there, and then we go ahead and we move on to the next beach. We also do a little beach picnic with pizza always, just to kind of keep them motivated to just have fun as well with it.
And that's awesome that they're able to just get out of the club and experience things like that outside of the club. Speaking of being outside the club, we have teens going to Florida Training Services. Tell us about that program. It's an amazing program, and just about that workforce readiness aspect.
Absolutely. So the Florida Training Services was something that started about 2 years ago, I believe. It was piloted during the summertime, and it started off with just doing two-week lessons, and that's basically where the first week they would learn all about hands-on, the book, proper ways, how to use the tools, everything like that. And then the next week they would actually practice on what they learned from the book and putting it to actual hands-on. So they would build wall clocks, they would build electrical lamps, they even build an HVAC, their own little mini AC unit, and then that progressed over that summertime, and they realized how many teens actually were super interested. So they decided to create a pilot program last year where they had, I believe it was 26 teenagers in the community where they actually received their OSHA 10 certification. So it was about a 6-month program where the teens were expected to come Mondays and Wednesdays, 3:30 to 5:30, and they would practice hands-on, and they would also practice the proper technique of how to utilize those tools. Far as electrical, HVAC, welding, there was just so many different trade opportunities for them. And actually one of our teens did the program at Westside Teens, and now he is currently working with our maintenance facilitator, Mr. Justin,
That's really
as a part-time job after school. So super awesome to see that he went through the program and then he was actually able to go ahead and utilize what he gained from us and find a job. So super cool to see.
That's amazing. Tell us a little bit more about that specific member and how he, kind of what his reaction was and how he was impacted from it.
Absolutely. So this member, he is 17 years old, who attends Lincoln Park Academy. He has been a part of our program since he was 13 years old. So he's been there for a very, very long time. I have had the pleasure to have known him since he was 13, and it's just amazing to see how his confidence has grown over the years, and especially with this OSHA 10, the Florida Training Service program. I mean, his confidence went from not really having knowledge to tools and just labor anything like that, and then now he is currently redoing the floorboards in our gym this week. So it's just amazing to see how he went from little to no knowledge to now he's doing things on his own, and he's being tasked, and he's actually entrusted to, hey, I know you got this. I have all faith in you. So it's just amazing to see his confidence build and grow, and it's all truly with the OSHA 10 program, and then also with Mr. Justin's guidance as well. That's been a great mentorship for our member as well.
And we have a couple other teams too in the Westside Club that just have opportunities to shadow different departments. We actually have a couple people helping us in the communications department. Just tell us a little bit about that and how you find what they're interested in and kind of grow what they're interested in.
So I actually like to do a survey for the teens in the beginning of the summer, at the beginning of the school year, just to kind of get a feel for what activities would they like to see throughout that year, what events would they like to see, guest speakers, so that this way I'm not just bringing in people that I think that they would like, but actually getting feedback from them of what they'd like to see in their program. Because I've done my time at the club, and now it's really my time to kind of enhance and grow their experience there. So really just kind of getting their feedback by doing the surveys, and then with the information that we find in the surveys, I bring it to our Keystone leaders, and then we kind of go and start doing research out in the community. Who can we bring in? What type of activities? What field trips can they do? And just kind of utilizing it that way. But the survey is one great way, and then also I feel like our Westside team members are very boisterous at what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So they're constantly wanting to evolve their club, and if they feel as if it doesn't really work for them or they're not interested in it, they have no problem speaking up and saying that, because they feel like their peers will also feel the same way. So that's one thing I'm very fortunate, is that I feel like I've created this environment where they can truly be themselves and advocate for what they want and what they want to see.
And that's what it's all about, is finding what they're interested in and then kind of taking that and running with it. And I just, being part of the Boys and Girls Club, it's amazing to see like the opportunities that we're able to give them, and just how amazing they're doing with the jobs that they're in and stuff like that. So it's very cool. Tell us a little bit about what just a typical day looks like at Westside Club when the teens come in from when they leave.
Okay, so a typical day at the teen club or Westside Teens is, I like to call it brain break. So that's the first 45 minutes of when they come in. Actually, we're very fortunate where we provide snack and dinner to all of our clubhouses and even our school sites, and that's just truly amazing to kind of give that food support to our teens, especially our teens and our youth, especially after school when they've been in school for a very long period. They've ate lunch earlier, so just being able to provide that is awesome. But we do a brain break for them. So brain break is typically when we like to pass out their snack, kind of let them talk about their day, whatever highs they had, whatever lows they had, and kind of really make them understand that we're in the club now. So what happened during school time, it's done, it's over with, we're in school. Or not in school, we're at Boys and Girls Club. So just really kind of giving them that ooh-saw moment. Then typically right after snack time, we do power hour. So any teens that have homework, or we actually have a teacher there for them. So the teacher is there Monday through Thursday, utilizing the teacher has honestly been super tremendous for our teens, just because not all of us program specialists, not all of us staff have the knowledge of the certain topics that they have in school. So being able to actually have a teacher hands-on just is so much easier. And it actually builds confidence in the teens, because they go ahead and they're like, hey, can you check this for me? Actually, I got it right. That's awesome. So just having that in the club is amazing. But so we have power hour. If they don't have homework, we typically do a hands-on activity with them, whether that's trivia, heads up, 7-up, whether we're playing. They actually love relay tic-tac-toe. There's this game called Don't Get Caught with the Cookies. That's like a really good game of theirs. So just really kind of giving them that hands-on teamworking aspect, so that they're still with one another, but they're also having fun. They're also learning how to communicate. They're learning how to hand-eye coordination, those different skills, but also still realizing that they're having fun with it. After that, we typically go into our programming, whether that's Career Launch, Money Matters, which we will be starting a new program called Career View XR, which we're super excited about. So whether it's one of those programs, we like to rotate those Monday through Thursday, just so that it's not the same thing every single time for the teens coming in. After that, we typically do dinner for them. So we have 45 minutes where we do dinner, USA, kind of relax for the day. And then after that, we do a volleyball game and a basketball game in the gym. We have a movie or music going on in the workforce room. And then every Friday is club days. So they come into the club. We have art club, we have basketball club, podcasting club, just the different things that they're wanting to see. We also have a fishing club. So
many amazing things happening.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the Career XR program. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the Career View XR is going to go hand in hand with career exploration, or also known as Career Launch. So in the past, Career Launch has really been focusing on the 8 different meta majors that we offer in our collegiate system, and also the different trades that are out there. But with the Career View XR, it's actually being able to bring virtual reality to those hands-on, or to those careers. So instead of them learning from a book or learning from research that they're doing, they're going to be learning hands-on through virtual reality. So not only will they have the virtual reality headsets, but also they'll be able to utilize the virtual reality lessons and scenes through a computer. So if there's 4 members on the VRs, the rest of the 15 members can utilize the computers and still get that hands-on experience until it's their turn, which I think is just truly amazing, because as we all know, we think we want to be something in the future, and then when it actually comes time to shadowing that or seeing, we're like, oh, I'm not so sure. So this just kind of gives them that extra step to go ahead and be like, okay, like I want to be a nurse. Okay, let's go ahead and do let's do 5 lessons of what is it taking to be an RN, what does it take to be a nurse, what does a day-to-day life look like while you're in that field, and then they're actually being able to like, okay, I really enjoyed this. I don't really know if this field is for me, so let me go ahead and do research on this. And also, there's just so many different fields out there that I feel like are not talked about on a daily basis. So being able to have this website page, this data page, to actually go ahead and research all these different careers. There's 276 different careers in there. So I mean, that's just amazing for them to be able to get that exposure and to get that opportunity to be able to be hands-on with it without also leaving their club. So I'm super excited for that. I know the teens are going to be excited about that. I mean, it goes hand in hand. They love social media. They love electronics. So being able to actually put electronics to one of our programs, it's going to be definitely awesome.
That is really cool. Very modern world.
Yes, no, it definitely is.
Very cool. Speaking of careers, we also had the program with the EDC and St. Lucie Public Schools with 50 teens enrolled in the program. Tell us a little bit if your teens, were any of your teens in that program?
Actually, yes. I had one teen who was in that program. She is a junior in high school, 16, turning 17 in the new year, and she actually received a job at St. Lucie Battery and Tire. And it is just, although it's very upsetting to see them go off and they're not here with us every single day, it's also so amazing to see that they're out there and they're utilizing all the tools that we taught them. I mean, for this member to be a junior and at the job that she has, I mean, it's truly, truly amazing to see. And she absolutely loves it. She comes every Friday to tell me a little bit about it, how her week was, and then she has to go to her shift. So, I mean, it's amazing to see their confidence grow with the more responsibility that they're given, the more, I guess you could say, adult-like tasks they're given. So I feel like really kind of, I really feel like the EDC program gave them that taste of responsibility of what it would be like for when they actually are in that workforce world. Workforce readiness program is amazing. We give them the foundation and the basics that they need, but that EDC program really put that muscle memory connection to them.
And it connected them with businesses that they were interested in.
It was a perfect networking opportunity for them, whether they stick with that field or for all the way up into college, or whether they stick after that, after college. I mean, it's just a perfect networking opportunity for them to kind of get those contacts now.
And I think the next summer we're trying to double the amount of teens. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like 100 teens we're trying to bring in.
I have definitely a lot of teens that are waiting for when we drop for the link so that they can go ahead and sign up. So I know they're super excited about that. And then also the Career Source program that we offer them as well during the summertime. So that's also awesome.
Yes, very exciting. Out of all of the programs that you oversee, what do you think is your favorite program?
that one.
I know Keystone is.
Yes, I would have to by far say Keystone is one of my favorite programs. Keystone is a leadership opportunity, leadership development for the teens where we have a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, parliamentarian, and I have actually created 2 other job positions, job titles, where they're a civilian and a representative. So it's really just giving those teens an opportunity to really be a part of the planning process with me. There's only so many ideas that I can come up with that I think are super fun for teens, but really without their insight, I would not be able to do the things that I do. So having the Keystone Leadership Group, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. We were very fortunate where we chartered for silver last year, and we actually got to go to Chicago. I was able to bring 4 teens to Chicago, and we were there for 3 days. It was a time of our lives. It was basically a teen conference. So we met Boys and Girls Clubs from Germany. We met Boys and Girls Club from the Air Force Base in Turkey. Like, it was just absolutely amazing to see how many different Boys and Girls Clubs there truly are and what an impact we're making, not even just in St. Lucie County, but worldwide. I mean, it was just awesome to see. And actually, the teens made so many friends, and they're really looking forward to going this year. So it was super awesome to see, and it just builds character for them. It builds leadership, builds character. I mean, they work on their communication skills. Like, it's just truly, it's a great program for them.
And when is that trip coming up?
So that trip will be in July. So every year they do a Keystone conference for teens. This year it's actually going to be hosted in Orlando, so it's a little bit locally closer to us. So we're super excited. They have some works in there for them wanting to go to an amusement park. So fundraising events have already started.
Very fun.
But it's pretty much Keystone's responsibility to not only assist the staff far as programming activities, but also just really assisting me with planning the events and planning the fundraising. Everyone has a job to do when it comes to whenever we have an event, whenever we have fundraisers. So it's just really awesome to see them really step into their role and take that initiative and take that, this is my club, this is my Keystone, and I want to make it better. So it's awesome to see that.
And is your Keystone Club a part of the advocacy project that you do every year? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so the TLC, the Think Learn project. So that is actually, it's a separate from Keystone, but a lot of our Keystone members, not only just at Westside Teens, but all of the teen sites, they actually are a part of the TLC. Just because they already have that leadership instinct, that development kind of already planned. So last year, our TLC project, it started off as them wanting to talk about community violence and youth violence in our community. But then they realized that all of that really stems from when we're younger. So the decisions that we make, the friends that we hang around, the music that we listen to. So they actually came up with the idea alongside with Chuck Hill, they came up with the idea of doing a giant simulator of the board game, the game of life, and where teens actually had to walk around to different booths and be asked questions, and on their map they were either going to the left on one path or to the right on the other path. And at the end of the simulator, they actually got to see which path, which direction they would have taken. And it's all about really just going back to that thinking it over aspect. I mean, when we're young, even as adults, we just go ahead and we think with our emotions sometimes before we actually think about the consequences or we think about what could happen. And so I think that was just a perfect opportunity, a perfect event for the teens to be in a teen setting and actually kind of feed off of one another and see like, oh, like my friend actually chose this path and I chose the opposite, and we ended up in 2 completely different lifestyles. Right. And so like that was just an eye-opener for them to kind of see it in a different perspective than seeing it from an adult just talking at them. If you do this, this is how your life's going to end up. Actually giving them the opportunity in a safe setting to explore those different avenues that they could have taken and seeing where their life could have ended up. I just definitely think it was an eye-opener for a lot of them. So that was a super cool project.
It's eye-opening to like meet other teens too and kind of see what what they're advocating for and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
cool.
They got to go to Washington, D.C. They got to march up the hill. They had an amazing time. I mean, the teens came back and they actually made friends with a Boys and Girls Club in Hawaii, and they still stay in contact with them.
That's so cool.
It's just really cool, the different connections that they're making and the friendships that they're making that could last their whole life.
And as someone who's lived both sides of the club experience, how do you see yourself in your teens, or how does it remind you of when you were in the club?
It is definitely, as I like to say, or others like to say, is a 360 moment. There are some times where the teens will come up to me about a situation that occurred at school or a situation with their friends, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I remember having this same conversation with my mom, or having the same conversation with my staff, asking, what advice do I need? What can I do to make this better? And it's just honestly kind of an eye-opener for me as well, just to see that, okay, like these things mattered to me when I was younger, but they don't matter to me now that I'm an adult. And so being able to kind of give that little aspect to my teens and kind of share a little bit of inside things that my life and just different things like that, I feel like it's a really great opportunity for them to relate, and being able to see that, okay, like I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that felt like this. I'm not the only one that feels this way, or just different things like that. So I think it's definitely a great opportunity for me to kind of bond with them over some of the things that we have in common, of things that troubled me when I was a youth and that I've been able to overcome now. So I think it's just awesome how they are very open, and they love for you to give them their advice. Do they always take it? Not all the time, but it's the fact that they're asking, and it's the fact that they want your advice.
Right.
And that's really all that matters. So.
And it's awesome that you are able to be a better leader because you know what it's like, and to take your club experiences and kind of push it onto them and allow them to grow is just amazing. So thank you so much for joining us today, and for all the amazing things that you're doing in the club. We're excited to see just the continued growth happening, and all of the amazing job opportunities that is happening with our workforce readiness program, and the Keystone trip that's coming up. So we're very excited about all of it. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. Truly was awesome to be here.
To learn more about all of our programs, you can visit our website at bgcofslc.org, and I will see you next month.